There's gonna be carnage.
So let me start off by saying that in this video I will be talking spoilers, so if you have not seen Venom Let There Be Carnage, then you might want to save this video and come back a little bit later and watch it after you've seen it. Now if spoilers don't bother you, then please continue to watch. So I really enjoyed the first Venom movie, even though it was not critically a big hit with a 30% Rotten Tomato score, but it did make over $850 million at the box office, so you know a sequel was inevitable. Now, when they first started releasing the trailers for Venom Let There Be Carnage, I got really excited seeing that we're going to get to see Carnage and Venom together on the big screen fighting and duking it out. And then I got really excited again whenever I heard that Andy Serkis was going to be directing this. The first movie, when Venom and Riot was on screen together, it was really dark and it was hard to tell them apart, I felt like. So when I heard that Andy Serkis was coming aboard, I knew that the quality of the CGI and the motion capture would be next level stuff, because that's what he's known for. Now, if you're not familiar with Andy Serkis, he played Gollum in Lord of the Rings, Caesar in Planet of the Apes, Supreme Leader Snoke in Star Wars The Force Awakens, Ulysses Claw in the MCU, and so much more. And Andy Serkis did not disappoint directing this movie. The look of Carnage was perfect in my opinion. Whenever Carnage and Venom was on screen together, rumbling around, mashed up, fighting each other, you could tell them apart. It wasn't dark like the first one. So the CGI was a lot better. When Carnage was breaking out of the prison, that scene was really, really freaking awesome. Carnage really lived up to his name in this scene. You didn't see any blood splatter or anything like that because it's rated PG-13. And with it being rated PG-13, they only allowed one F-bomb in the movie. And I really thought that when they used it, it was perfect. When Venom said what he said, I laughed my ass off. I loved Woody Harrelson in this movie. I think he was perfect casting to play serial killer Cletus Cassidy. I am glad they did cut his hair, because it was really funky looking at the end of the first Venom movie. I also thought that his chemistry with Naomi Harris, that played Shriek, was really spot on. Woody Harrelson plays a great crazy person. And Tom Hardy was outstanding in this movie. He plays himself, Eddie Brock, and Venom, so whenever they're arguing on screen, he's really arguing with himself. And that's got to be really difficult to do, and he was really spot on. So I commend you, Tom Hardy, because that was a spectacular performance, and you were hilarious. Now, something that a lot of people were concerned about was the short 90-minute runtime, but I always reserve judgment when I hear runtimes, because there's a lot of 2.5-hour movies that are too short, and there's some 90-minute movies that are too long. It's really all about how they pace the movie and how they tell the story. This movie was very fast-paced. I can't think of any really wasteful scenes in the movie, so I think it was pretty spot on with what it should have been. Maybe could have went for another 10-15 more minutes if they had something else they wanted to say, but really it was the right time in my book. Now, as far as the story of it, I really love the simplicity of it. I was able to go in there, turn my brain off, and enjoy the show. It was like a action-packed rom-com, a love story between Eddie Brock and Venom, and Cletus Cassidy and Shriek. And it really was a love story between Eddie Brock and Venom. It shows them having their fights and not really getting along. They break up, and then they realize they need each other, and they get back together again. So even at the end, Venom tells Eddie that he loves him. One of my favorite parts of this movie is, or my favorite things about this movie, is the fact that Venom and Eddie go back and forth at each other on a regular basis, and their banter is what makes this movie to me. And it was really nice because you don't have to wait so long to get into that banter like you did in the first movie, because you got to set up all their backstories so to give it context when they do get together. Now, something I didn't like about the story in the movie was how Venom ate Carnage and Cletus died, even though it was pretty awesome how it ended up playing out. Now, I also think it's funny how nothing that happens in this movie even matters because of the mid-credit scene, but I'll get to that in a minute. Now, another character I actually liked in the movie was Stephen Graham's character, he played the detective. He actually had a big role in this, an important role in this movie. You saw him in the trailers, and to me, he came across as one of those throwaway characters. But like I said, he actually had an important role. I do have a question though. What is up with his glowing blue eyes at the end of the movie? That's something that I apparently missed. So if anybody knows what that is, then please comment below and fill me in. I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, on the mid-credit scene. Now, I'd actually seen this leak a long time ago, but I wasn't really sure if it was real or not. But I guess it was. Now, there are a couple really important things in this scene. The first one's really obvious. Venom is now in the MCU, and we're eventually going to get to see Venom and Spider-Man on the big screen together again. Hopefully doing a lot better than the Venom on the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire. That was, I don't count that. The second thing that was referenced in this mid-credit scene that I think is pretty important is how Venom referenced his hive mind, his collective hive mind, that gives him the knowledge of all of his ancestors, all the way from in the past, even back before the Big Bang. Now, this will open up a lot of stories that can be told from the comic books if they decide to go that route. So overall, I really did like Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and chances are that if you like the first one, then you'll like this one too. There's a lot of critics out there saying they didn't like the first one, but they liked this one. So if you went and saw Venom, Let There Be Carnage, then please comment below and let me know what you thought about it. I would love to hear back from you guys and hear your feedback. That's all I've really got for today, so I appreciate you sticking this out and watching this video. And if you want to see more content, then please like and subscribe. Have a great day.